History is full of wars that resemble David versus Goliath, conflicts in which one side possesses overwhelming material superiority, while the other is vastly weaker in conventional military terms. The intuitive expectation is straightforward. The stronger state should win. For much of modern history, that expectation held true. As R. Toft observes, strong actors historically won a clear majority of asymmetric conflicts. Yet, that broad pattern obscures a major modern shift. Wars between the strong and the weak have become increasingly unpredictable, and the weak have become far more capable of avoiding outright defeat. This essay argues that the key to understanding this shift lies not in raw military power, but in the complex relationship between war aims, time, and strategy. Strong states often enter asymmetric wars with immense destructive capacity, yet frequently struggle to translate battlefield superiority into durable political outcomes. Weak states, by contrast, may be unable to defeat the strong conventionally, but they can still successfully deny them victory. In this sense, modern asymmetric wars are not best understood as cases where David wins outright, but rather where Goliath fails to achieve his original political objectives. In the realm of asymmetric warfare, not losing is a profoundly meaningful strategic outcome. Wars that are neither clear victories nor clear defeats. It is often more accurate to state that the weak do not lose, or that the strong fail to win, than to frame these conflicts in absolute terms of victory and defeat. This ambiguity stems directly from the nature of war aims. Sullivan argues that war outcomes are shaped by the interplay of two factors, destructive capacity and cost tolerance. Destructive capacity refers to the ability to coerce through military means, technology, training, doctrine, and firepower. Cost tolerance refers to a state's willingness to absorb casualties, financial burdens, political backlash, and extended timelines. The crucial point is that destructive capacity is relatively visible before war begins, while cost tolerance is much harder to observe. States can count tanks, aircraft, and missiles more easily than they can predict how long an opponent will endure punishment. This matters especially in wars whose success depends on enemy compliance. In many asymmetric conflicts, the strong state does not merely seek to destroy armed units. It seeks to compel a weaker actor to change behavior, surrender political control, stop supporting insurgents, accept occupation, or comply with a new political order. Those goals depend not only on physical destruction, but also on the target's willingness to yield. If the weaker side refuses to comply indefinitely, even while suffering tactical losses, then the cost of victory rises in ways that are difficult to estimate beforehand. Sullivan's broader argument is precisely that as war aims depend more heavily on target compliance, uncertainty about the cost of victory grows, and relative resolve becomes more consequential. Seen this way, strong states do not necessarily struggle in asymmetric war because they lack firepower or even because they lack resolve in some absolute sense. They struggle because they misjudge how costly compliance will be to extract. Once the political, economic, and human costs of achieving the original objective exceed what leaders and publics were willing to pay, the strong state often scales back, narrows its goals, or withdraws. The weaker side, meanwhile, does not need to destroy the stronger actor's military. It often needs only to survive long enough for the stronger actor's patience to erode. That is why so many asymmetric wars end not with triumph and conquest, but with exhausted stalemate, mission drift, or strategic retrenchment. The strategic weapon. Time. R. Toft's central insight is that strategic interaction dictates outcomes more than raw power. He categorizes strategies into two approaches, direct and indirect. When both sides use similar strategic approaches, the strong actor usually prevails.